Hello, friends. This is Alia Jamal, the love coach, coming here live for another love circle. And today we are talking about nurturing inner peace. Every single one of my clients that has ever come to me have said this word: I want to feel peace within me. I want to feel happy within me. So apparently, all of us most of us adults are looking for it, or that is one of the goals that we have. But first, let's look at what is peace. What does peace means to you? When you say that I want to feel peaceful, or right now I'm feeling peaceful, what does that mean? Does that mean that you are feeling safe? Does that mean you're in control? Does that mean you're relaxed? Because any emotion that we talk about, or any state of being that we talk about, it's going to be different for every person. What peace is going to be for me is might not be peace for you. That might be chaos for you. And what peace might be for you might not be for me. So it's a very important that you take a moment and you ask yourself, what does peace means to me? When I say I want to feel peaceful, what does that really mean? And the second thing we want to talk about, what takes away your peace? What is it in your life, externally or internally, that moves you from that place of groundedness, or that place of relaxation, or that place of feeling safe and in control? What happens that takes you away from that place? If we don't know those two questions, then nurturing inner peace, creating inner peace just stays like a fancy buzzword in your life, and you're always chasing it and you're just thinking about it, but nothing is happening. Because to create a transformation, we need to know what the direction we are going in. So I'll start with myself. For what peace is for me, peace for me is feeling very still. Everything around me is still. I don't feel like there's a lot of movement of energy, and I feel still. But for me, it's an internal experience. It's not an external experience. Sometimes we are like, when everybody around me is calm, I'll feel calm. That is generally where most of us are when we are starting on this journey of, I will say, self-realization, self-actualization, or a place of mastery, or realizing who we are as a being and not be victim of our life situation and circumstances. That is kind of where we start. So when we start to take that peace inward, and we can feel in peace within us, from that place we can control. So I will share with you where I am now, and then I'll share with you how you can get to that place in any given moment. Because peace is something that is nurtured every single day. It's not something that you'll that is a destination, you'll get to it and then you never have to travel any further. It's something we do every single day. For me, peace means feeling still within me. And if I get sucked into chaos around me, being able to go back within me and just staying there and looking at the world from that very calm, um, quiet place. For me, that is how I embody inner peace. So you'll have to look at how you do it, or because every single one of us have experienced inner peace at some point. That's why we keep looking for that feeling, and we want that feeling to last longer. Um, and then the third question we want to talk about, do you want to be in that place, and why you want to be in that place? Because sometimes we're like, we are chasing things that we think we're supposed to be chasing. So we're supposed to be wealthy, we're supposed to be healthy, we're supposed to feel inner peace. So that's why we are reading books about it. We are working with a mentor about it. But if it does not come from a place of burning desire, you're not going to take any actions. If you don't have the burning desire to be a millionaire, you're not going to get there. You're not going to take the actions of a person who have that as a burning desire. Or if you don't want your body to look certain way, that's not a burning desire, you're not going to take the action at the level maybe your friend is taking who does have that burning desire. So just again, take a moment and ask yourself, do I have the desire to feel or experience inner peace or nurture it on regular basis? Or am I so used to chaos and anxiety and guilt and shame and judgment that I'd rather stay there? Now, this is that level of honesty. If you're not willing to go there, nothing is going to shift. And that is when we keep lying to ourselves that I'm working on myself, but there's no work happening because we are so comfortable being in the chaos that we don't even want to move to the place of inner peace. So that is something that, look within you, ask these questions, and now we'll jump into what is inner peace? How can you nurture it every single day? I want to share this book with you before we even start, called Power versus Force by David Hawkins. In there, he has this map of consciousness. I think you can see the map of consciousness. And then the top, very close to the top, it's peace. And peace is at about 600, whatever vibration or um, uh, unit that they are using to log these emotions and how they create an impact within us. This book is more about kinesiology. So these are the vibration that your body is emitting when we are in these specific places. So let's say shame is at 20 and peace is at 600. 250 is neutral. So where are you most of the time? Are you in the lower numbers? Are you used to being there? Or do you want to be in higher numbers? And why do you even want to be there? So I just wanted to show you that there is a level of higher vibration called peace, joy, love. And that is our natural state of being. That is a human's natural state of being. So when a kid is born, and of course, after they've been, wiped and they kind of take a small shower and then they are fed and they stop crying and they're just laying there. That is what state of peace is. That is what I am at my core. That is what you are at your core. But as we start to understand our life and the world that we live in, something takes us away from that center. Now, that's something that takes us away from the center, from our own center. That is what needs to shift for you to experience inner peace. Now, that could be your judgment against yourself, other people's judgment for you. That could be shame that you feel for your own existence for whatever reason, the guilt that you carry all the time. It could be anger, it could be frustration, it could be fear, it could be your worries, it could be your anxiety. All those things, whatever is not your nature that you were born with, that every baby is born with. Whatever it does not align with that is going to take you away from your center. So those are the things that you will look into your life. Okay, so when this happens, when I become anxious, that is when I am not in my center. I am not feeling that internal experience of peace. I am not feeling still or grounded. That is how you will have a guiding post where to go, what to do next. So peace is our natural state of being. What takes you out of that state of being is what we are here to discover. Generally, something outside of us triggers something inside of us, and that is when we get off track and we are not in peace, in the vibration of peace anymore. You can sit there and you can dig deeper 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 and you can keep asking yourself what that is for me. Of course, it's going to be different for everybody else. But here's a foundational thing that I can share with you just to guide you on that journey for yourself. Whenever you try to find or try to make sense of things, or you're trying to lean into safety or identity outside of us, you're not going to feel inner peace. You might blame other people, you might judge them, you might label them, but what's taking you away from your core is this expectation that you can find solutions outside of you. So how does that look like? I know I talked about a huge concept here. What does it look like when I am looking for validation? That's why whoever looks for validation outside of them, they are never at peace. They're always at the edge. They're always worried that they are going to piss somebody off. Somebody's not going to like them, and they need to they need to make sure everybody likes them. When we look for validation, when we judge others, because when you judge other people, it's impossible for you to judge others unless you judge yourself. So that means you're judging yourself. When you judge yourself, when you label yourself, when you call yourself name, it takes you. So what's happening? You're looking for an identity that doesn't exist within you, and then you're judging yourself. Why I'm not like that? Why I have to be this way? Um, Along that comes comparison. Whenever you take again that identity and you start comparing yourself to others, why I'm not like that person, why I'm not as motivated, why I'm not this, why I'm not that. Again, you're going outside of yourself. Whenever you start putting your trust in something other than you. So a lot of people who come from a background where their trust has been broken and they're like, well, it's so hard to trust people. People are bad. People are this, people are that. My friend, there's nothing wrong with people, but there's something wrong with you. And that is where you'll fix it. People are very trustworthy, but you're having hard time trusting them because you don't trust yourself. And that is where the crack happened. And then we put it on other people and we blame them. When you will start trusting yourself, you'll realize how easy it is to trust other people because you would know deep down, even if this person betrays me, I'll be okay because I got me. When we don't have that foundation, that is when we go out and we blame other people and we say bad things about other people. And that is when we come up with these generalized big ideas. All people are bad, all women are bad, or all men are bad. But that is actually lack of that inner realization. Okay, oh, I need to shift. I put my peace in other people. I need to bring it back home. So we have very hard time trusting situations, people, circumstances, because again, our identity went outside of us. It's not within us anymore. So these are all the different ways, and I can go on and on when we have started to attach our identity, or we have started to give other people, yeah, this is another way to explain it in a beautiful way. When you give other people the responsibility for your happiness and for your peace, when we start going into, because my kids are behaving this way, so I cannot feel relaxed. Well, your kids are not responsible for you feeling relaxed. Even when they're throwing a tantrum, you do have a choice to feel relaxed. Now, if we have not created that within us, we don't even see it. That is when we keep blaming, again, situations outside of us, people outside of us, that because of them, I am feeling this way. So what is that in your life that you keep blaming and you're not owning? Ownership is what starts your journey towards inner peace. Acceptance is what starts your journey towards inner peace. When you start to accept yourself, this is where I am. I'm not pushing where I want to go, where I should have been. This is where I am right now. Because what that does, acceptance just settles the energy, the chaos that is going on around us, like this one, not this one, not that. It settles everything down. It brings you back home. It gives you control. Okay, I can control my life. I can take this control back. This is who I am. And I'm not going to judge it or label it. So one part is that acceptance. And when you start to own and take responsibility for who you are, what you say, what you think, and how you act. Recognizing you can shift it anytime. If you don't like the way you talk, you can shift it anytime. If you don't like the way you think, you can shift it anytime. But you cannot shift it unless you take ownership and you accept yourself. So the first layer of foundation, if you want to really nurture inner peace, you want to embody inner peace, you want to create inner peace, would be ownership, responsibility for yourself, and acceptance of yourself wherever you are. What it will do, it will give you a tool that you can project out. Now, let's say if I have accepted myself, I have also accepted you. What does that mean? That means I am free to be whoever I need to be in this moment, and you're free to be whoever you need to be in this moment. So how does that bring inner peace? When you will have a problem with me, or you'll come and you'll say, Alia, you're X, Y, and Z, I'll accept you, whoever you need to be. I wouldn't want you to be any different. So I'll say, okay, that's how you are. That's your opinion. And it's okay. You can have that opinion, but I will not bring it home because I accept myself. I own myself. So now your opinion cannot disturb my opinion, but at the same time, I accept you. So I am not going to be mad with you. I'm not going to say, no, you need to validate me. No, you need to accept me. No, you need to see how I'm right. All that chaos is what takes us away from our center. That is not going to happen. We are going to kind of skip over that. That is the freedom that comes with building these inner skills that most of us don't have growing up. And then through life, we come to a conclusion that, this is what we got to learn. So owning yourself also help you trust yourself. And it also help you trust other people. Now, what's happening as we are building this now, other people are having less control over you. Other people cannot manipulate you. When you look at your relationship and when you see that there's frustration going on, there's anger going on, backtrack it. At some point, let's say if you're feeling angry with somebody, at some point, that person was able to manipulate you and you were not able to say no to them. They either used guilt, they used shame, they used blame, they used fear to manipulate you, to make you do something that you did not have the intention to do. Maybe you wanted to do something opposite to that. When that person successfully manipulates you, unconsciously you're aware of that, consciously maybe you're not, that is when you feel angry towards yourself because you're afraid. Anger always comes from a fear. You're afraid now someone else can control you. What's happening now? You don't trust yourself. Now, when you don't trust yourself, you're afraid that someone else can control you. And that is when you start to get angry. In truth, the anger is towards yourself, not the other person. In truth, the resentment is towards yourself, not the other person. If you want to resolve it, it would be resolved within you, accepting yourself that I let somebody manipulate me. When you start accepting yourself, you start to come in peace. That is when you make peace with it. That is when you start going to a higher vibration of from anger to a higher vibration. I can share with you, anger is 150. So if a building is 600 floors, you went from 150 floor to a 600 floor. That is a huge jump. And you can do that inside of you. Now, the more you start to take control of your internal environment, the harder it is for other people to control you. The harder it is for them to manipulate you. The harder it is for them to come and move you from a place of inner peace. But who's giving them permission? You are. No one can take away your inner peace, whether it's a financial situation going on. Maybe you got laid off and you're like, well, of course I'm not in peace because I was just laid off. That is just an excuse we use because we are so used to being in chaos. We are so used to being in that guilt, shame, fear environment that we don't even want to take ownership and do the conscious, proactive work to stay in a state of peace. what is something you can do on regular basis to nurture that? There are some things you can do beside doing this work of taking ownership of yourself and not blaming other people, not judging other people. Another thing you can do is meditating on your breath. So, what is meditating on your breath? A lot of meditation, they talk about it. Meditation just means focusing on something. Meditation is a tool to become aware of your own internal environment. Meditation is a tool to realize you are more than the body. It's not just for relaxation. Meditation is a very advanced tool to explore your inner world and get in touch with your metaphysical essence, the part of you that your eyes cannot see. So how we get to, like, this, just focus on your calm, take a deep breath, sit in a calm, quiet place, and now just focus on your inhale and focus on your exhale. Do that a couple of times. You can close your eyes if you like. You don't have to close your eyes if you don't like. I personally like to close my eyes. And once you become aware of, okay, that is an exhale, that is an inhale, because what it's doing, it's bringing back your scattered energy to this moment. So maybe give yourself 10 of inhale, exhale. Then pay attention to, there's a tiny gap before you exhale. That is where you're going to find inner stillness. So now, this is my favorite thing to do. So now, just inhale, pay attention to the gap, don't hold it, exhale. One thing you will realize, even 3 breaths where you're paying attention to the gap before the exhale, you're going to start feeling so calm, so present, so collected. Because what's happening? All the thoughts, the scattered energy you had, she said this, he said this, why this person is this way, why this person can't accept me for who I am. And you're coming back to this moment. That is the nature we are born with. A baby doesn't care who think they are pretty. A baby doesn't care who think what about them. A baby doesn't care what kind of situation it's going through. That is the attitude when we start embody. That is when we get to nurture inner peace. When your identity is not tied to what other people think of you, what the society think of you, what kind of, like, accomplishments you have. When your identity is not tied to that and you're okay being nothing and nobody, that is the highest level of inner peace you can experience in a human body. Because that is when you're truly detached. And what you're attached to, you're attached to yourself. How do I see myself in this moment? What do I think about myself in this moment? How do I want to show up for myself? Those are the questions that connect you with your nature. But every time you go into any lower vibrations, especially guilt, judgment, guilt and shame, judgment, and fear, that is when you're not in inner peace. So one of the tool you can use on regular basis is, whenever you find yourself out of inner peace, ask yourself, what took me out of inner peace? What took me out? What happened? Was it the person who just honked at me? Was it the somebody at the grocery store? Was it a phone call you got from your supervisor, your boss, your work? Was it a text message that you got? What is it? And then ask yourself why your identity is dependent on the other person liking you, validating you, or you just want them to be on your side. Why is it important? Because if that is what you're looking for outside of you, you're not getting it inside of you. When you start giving yourself your own validation, when you start saying, I accept and own myself wherever I am is exactly where I need to be, knowing that you have the power to change anything. When you start to bring everything home and you're not looking for life force outside of you, you're getting that life force within you, that is when you get to stay in peace. And to just train your nervous system to be in peace, because when your nervous system is used to being in chaos, it rejects inner peace. It will go towards it, but then it will reject it. It will go towards it, but then it will reject it. That is where you can just take 3 deep breaths, closing your eyes, focusing on your inhale and your exhale, and then focusing on that gap that is there. That is where you're going to find, my friend, that deep stillness that you're looking for, that has always been there. It will always be there. And this is how you can connect with it. Now, if this is a topic that you want to really go deep into and you want to learn how to get out of being so used to chaos, how to resolve those inner things, how to create that foundation of acceptance, how to create that foundation where you're not looking for validation outside of you. And you can give yourself your own identity and you don't look for it in other people or in your achievements. If those are the desires you have, I would love to be your guide on this beautiful journey of embodying inner peace. You can always reach out to me. You can DM me, or you can go to my website, aliajamalcoaching.com, and you can book a consultation, and I'll talk to you then. For the rest of you, I'll see you next Thursday. We are coming to a conclusion for today's Love Circle, and I'll see you later. Bye.